Hi, welcome back. Well, I've seen some very interesting website proposals that you've sent me over the last week. If you already have a website you're developing, that's fine too, and I hope this course will help you become more confident in editing and revising those sites to improve the experience of your visitors. I also hope by now that you've created a few rough sketches or wireframes of how you would like your website to be laid out. Once you're happy with a particular design, it's time to start building the HTML pages of your site. As I've mentioned before, the basic building block of a website layout is the div tag, which serves as a container of sorts for different sections of text, images, and other elements that you want to appear on the page. Now keep in mind that these sections can appear anywhere on a web page, depending on where you tell a browser to place them. You can tell a browser to use what's called absolute positions, which means you specify exact X and Y coordinates on the page. Or you can tell a browser to use what's called relative positions, which means you tell a browser to simply place items to the left or right of another item on that same page. Using CSS to lay out a web page can sometimes be difficult, and that's because CSS offers a nearly infinite number of possibilities for using float, margin, and padding to arrange items on a page. With all the different combinations available, it's easy to make mistakes and end up with a layout that simply doesn't work in a browser. Complicating the matter is that some web browsers might display your layout properly while others may not. Web designers have to be very careful that their CSS code is compatible with all the most popular browsers that visitors might use. One way for beginners to avoid these types of problems is to start your website project with a pre-designed template and then alter that template to match the layout you created in your wireframe. The good news is that your Dreamweaver program includes a few pre-designed CSS layout templates that have been tested and verified to work across multiple browsers. Let's take a look at what's available. From the File tab at the top of your workspace, select New. Then select HTML Template. Notice in the Layout box, Dreamweaver offers two choices: 2 columns with a right sidebar, a header and a footer, and 3 columns with a header and footer. Let's try the 2-column layout. Then click Create. Notice that Dreamweaver has put together for us a fairly complete web page layout. But don't worry if this doesn't look like what you have in mind for your own website, because you can certainly change the properties of this page to make it look any way you like. What's important about using this template is that we can avoid having to build a CSS layout from scratch, which can be a very time-consuming process. Now let's take a look at the 3-column template. This might be a better layout to start with for some of you, especially if you have a lot of information and links that you would like your visitors to see when they arrive at your home page. Also, a quick search online will take you to thousands of different CSS templates that you can download and save to your computer. For example, this page on the Adobe website offers several different templates you might be interested in using. For my example, I think I'll stick with the 2-column template that came with my software. Take some time to look through the HTML code of your template to see how it's structured. In particular, notice that Dreamweaver has placed all the CSS code within the HTML document itself. If you recall from my earlier videos, this is called embedded styles, which is a little different from the external style sheets we've been using so far. But let's keep the embedded CSS code here for now, which might make it easier for us to edit both the CSS and the HTML code on the same page. Of course, we can always move these embedded styles to an external style sheet later on. Before we start working on the template, we need to first decide where to locate the new website on our computer. As I explained in some of my earlier videos, the first step in setting up a new site is to create a root directory, and it should look something like this. Now let's tell Dreamweaver where our new site is located. Go to the top menu of the workspace, click the Site tab, and then select New Site. Here I'll enter a name for the website, and then I'll browse my computer to find the root directory I just created. Next I'll click Save. Now we're ready to start work in the template to make this website design our own. Where you begin is completely up to you. Some designers like to start by replacing the text that appears in the template with their own copy. And in most cases, that's also where I begin. If you've already written your website copy in another program like Microsoft Word, or you have copy that already exists in another web page, it's simply a matter of copying and pasting the text into your new template design. If you have images to place, you can easily use the Insert option from the top menu to locate a particular image that you've placed in your Images folder. Once you have the basic components of your web page in place, you can then start revising the style settings and properties of this template to change its appearance. And we'll do this using the CSS Designer tool in Dreamweaver CC. If you're using Dreamweaver CS6, you'll make these style changes in the CSS Styles box. As you'll discover, Dreamweaver will apply the style changes you make here to the embedded styles in your HTML document. Now it's your turn. From here I'll let you do some revising of the template on your own. In my earlier videos, you've seen me demonstrate how to change the width of a page, how to change font sizes and font styles, and how to move sections on a page using float properties. Now try altering the properties that already exist in this template to see if you can emulate the page design you created in your wireframe. Keep in mind that throughout the rest of this course, you'll be working on your final project, which is the website you defined in your website proposal. What I would like to do is see your project at a few different stages of completion. So for your assignment this week, please submit a copy of your working HTML document just so I can see how things are going with your design. If you've chosen a particular template you would like to work with, send me a copy of that file and show me some of the changes you've made to the existing styles in that template. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, please contact me and we can discuss your particular website in more detail. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time.